The New York Giants blew a 19-point lead to the Denver Broncos, and this may have been the biggest collapse I've seen out of the New York Giants. And I've seen a lot of bad games. This might have been the worst. Let's break it down. All right, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of Bet the Over. I'm your host, Kev. Last time you saw me, it was around April. We were looking at the mock draft for the upcoming rookie class. I don't know if you remember, but I had my co-host with me, Steve, on stream. Everyone throw up a lighter for Steve. Not because anything happened to him, just because he's a Jets fan. He's not coming on the podcast till the Jets win a game. So I guess we'll see him at week 17 off season. Nah, I'm just kidding though. He'll probably be on an episode in the upcoming weeks. But let's get into what occurred this past Sunday, October 19th. What we witnessed on Sunday, Giants versus Broncos, was one of the biggest blown leads or comebacks, if you're a Broncos fan, in NFL history. The fourth quarter, the Giants were up by 19 points with, I think, about 8 minutes left in the game, and they blew the game. Now, in this episode, I'll break down a couple plays that obviously turned the tide. We'll discuss who's to blame for this loss because, to be honest, you can blame anyone on the team. You can blame the offense, you can blame the defense, you can blame the coaching, you can blame the GM, you can blame the special teams. But overall, it's just a devastating loss. It's insane what the Giants do to a man. It's like it feels like every year they find a new way to lose. That's really what it is. Good teams find a way to win, bad teams find a way to lose, and the Giants always find a way to lose. It doesn't matter how much the Giants are up by, what has gone down in the past quarter, 2 quarters, however far into the game you are. I never think the Giants are going to win a game. I never do. I always think they're going to blow the lead. And it just so happened Sunday they blew the biggest lead in NFL history. Let me hit you with the Instagram stat I saw today. So teams that were leading by 18 with 6 minutes left were 1,062 and 0. And now it's 1,062 and 1. So every other team in the league, not named the Giants, have come back and won the game when they were winning by 18 points with 6 minutes left. However, the Giants decided to be the outlier in this category. So let's get into it. So to start, I think who's taking the most blame for this loss is probably the Giants kicker. He's an international kicker. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. I know his first name's Jude, and it's McAdney. I know he's from like the international program. I think from Northern Ireland, but it's actually incredible how he missed 2 extra points. Like, it's not like they were asking him to hit 50-yarders in Denver, which can be a windy city, to win the game. No, they were just asking him to kick extra point field goals, 30 yards, I think, or 35 at max. And he missed not 1, but 2 of them. The second one was the more crucial one because that only put them up by 2 instead of 3 when Dart scored with about 40 seconds left. So if I had to rank, I'm going to rank every person I say on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, 1 being the least to blame for the giant collapse on Sunday. I'd say the kicker is about at I'll give him an 8 because 2 extra points is honestly ridiculous. Like, those should be easy field goals. Extra points should be easy money. Once you get past like 45, then I understand a miss, but extra points are kind of ridiculous. Next person I want to blame is, I'll say Dable. Play calling, the second to last possession when they actually, no, not the second to last, the third to last possession when Dart threw the pick. Dable should have known, like, you got to run the ball there. The Broncos burned 2 timeouts. They had 1 timeout left. and the Giants decided to throw the ball, which inevitably led to a pick. Obviously, we'll get to Dart in a second, but I don't care what's going on. You have to run the ball and you have to make the Broncos burn that extra timeout. If Dart didn't throw the pick there, the Broncos would have got the ball with about 5 minutes left, no timeouts, and they would have had to drive at least 60 yards to score any sort of points. And that would have burned a significant amount of clock off, probably maybe 2 minutes left. Um, so Dable, I'll give like a 7. I mean, the kicker is kind of his fault as well because he's constructing the roster. He's picking the people that are going to play on Sundays. So that's also kind of his fault in a way. So I give Dable a 7. Shane Bowen, I give a 9. He keeps playing this defense. I have flashbacks to the game against Dallas. They did the same exact thing. They score, there's like 30 seconds left, and the other team drives down the field, gets a 30-yard pass off when we have 8 people playing coverage. Like, I don't know how someone's open when we have 8 guys playing coverage and they have to throw the ball 40 yards down the field. Doesn't make any sense, but the Giants always find a way. So Shane Bowen, I give a 9. The Giants played great defense for 3 quarters. However, the fourth quarter, 33 points is incredible. No team should score 33 points in a game, let alone a quarter. If you give up 33 points in a game, your defense played poor. If you give up 33 points in one quarter, like, that is a monumental collapse. I don't even know what that's considered. So Bone, I give a 9. Deontay Banks, I give an 8. As soon as Paulson Adebo, the starting corner, came out, Deontay Banks came on, and that's just what the Broncos offense needed to spark. It's honestly infuriating. It's incredible how they blew this lead. It's impressive. It's harder to blow the lead than it was to just keep the lead. So Banks, I give an 8. Um, Joe Shane, I'll give like a 6. I'm a little more optimistic on Shane. I think his past couple drafts have been pretty good. However, he is also one of the reasons why Jude McCaffrey or whatever, McApney, however you say his name, is on the field. They signed Young Wei Koo. Where is he? I guess I don't know how he's not starting over the current kicker they have, but next year they have to draft a kicker. I don't care what round it is. They could take a kicker in the 5th round, and I'd be happy with that because there's been multiple games where they've lost because they don't have a kicker. I think back to last year with Washington. I think back to this game. The Cowboys game, I think they missed last week their kicker missed an extra point. Granted, they won, so I guess it didn't necessarily factor in. But yeah, special teams got to be better. So Shane, I'll give like a 6. Yeah, probably a 6. And I don't even know. I guess the defense in general, you can kind of blame. Burns had a great game. He had 2 sacks. I know he got a little shaken up. He came out with like an ankle injury here and there. He was emotional in the locker room. I mean, I get it. I like that out of my players. Obviously, they want to win. Burns is having an MVP type of season. There was a lot of smack going talk Twitter the weeks prior. I know Benito was really talking smack, even though Andrew Thomas absolutely clamped him. I know that's what corners do, but Andrew Thomas put him in a bag. I don't even think he might have only had like 1 or 2 pressures, but he's still talking smack on Twitter. I think kudos to the Broncos, though. They never gave up. A lot of teams, I think, would have croaked, just giving up when you're down by 19 points in the fourth quarter. Like, the statistics, I think the Broncos at one point had a 0.02% chance of coming back and winning the game. But really, the Broncos, good for them, but I think it was really the Giants' game to lose, whereas the Broncos, I mean, they did enough to win, but that was just a monumental collapse. And the last person I want to give credit to, I guess, for blowing the lead, or I guess taking credit away from, is Jackson Dart. Listen, obviously the Giants have a bright future with Dart and Scatterboo. Dart played a pretty good game. I mean, obviously 3 quarters he was fantastic. However, that pick he threw with about 6 minutes left was by far his worst play of the season. That's honestly the biggest play that you can go back to and point to the reason they lost the game. I mean, the Broncos got the ball at like the 20-yard line. They didn't waste any time scoring another touchdown. If you think about it, if they would have just ran, the Saints would have lost their last time out. Gillen would have punted. They would have had about 5 minutes to drive, 60 yards down the field. That would have taken a good chunk of time off the clock. Dart throws that pick. He runs it back about 20 yards. I don't even remember who it was. Bad read. So even though Dart played a really good game, it reminds me of the Russell Wilson play against the Cowboys where he played fantastic all game, but that turnover is like that's an absolute backbreaker. Like that's not even that almost just cancels out everything you've done prior to that moment. But he is a rookie. I guess these mistakes are going to happen. He's going to throw picks. We all know that. The future is bright, but this loss is really, really devastating. Um, so that's about it for this episode. I'm going to try and keep them a little bit shorter. Comment down below who you think really is at fault for the game. You think it's Shane, you think it's Dable, you think it's the kicker, you think it's the defense, or you think it's the offense. Comment down below. I'll try and keep posting throughout the week, and I'm trying to get the channel back up and going. So like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a great rest of the week. On to Philadelphia.